This is an E92 M3. I've been talking about this car for months on end. So much so, I literally went out and bought my own one because of how much I've fallen in love with them. But there's one thing which all of us E90 M3 lovers, haters, and in between will all agree on. It's got one major fault point, apart from the reliability. That is that it comes with this 4-litre V8 that revs to 8,400 RPM. This is hands down BMW's best ever 8-cylinder engine, and in my opinion, probably one of their best engines ever. It's just awesome. But it's a little bit embarrassing because you've got a 4-litre naturally aspirated V8, which only makes 420 horsepower, and the worst part, 400 Newton meters of torque. That is shocking. When you compare it to the smaller and lesser displacement 3-litre 6-cylinder M4, this thing out of factory makes 550. 150 more Newton meters of torque than a car which is naturally aspirated with 8 cylinders. Like, how does that work? Well, long story short, it's because it's a high revving V8 based off a race engine, so it's not really made for low end torque, but regardless, it's not enough. To put in a bit of perspective, these cars that I'm putting on the screen now all have the same or more torque than an M3. Yeah, it needs a little bit of help. So what's the most logical and reasonable way to make this car faster and have more torque? Well, you just slap a big old supercharger on it. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome you to another Performance Sneak video. And this one I am so excited for, because we're already taking one of my favorite cars ever, and we're making it more exciting. We're going to meet up with a friend of the channel who's got a supercharged E90 M3, and he just told me, come take it for a drive, why don't you? I'm a little bit nervous because I'm going to fall in love with it. But anyways, we're going to head over there, drive his car, and we can compare it to the stock standard, regular, naturally aspirated M3. Now, I was planning on taking the M3 to meet with the M3, but as you can see, it's heavily raining, one, and two, he lives 50 minutes away. And, well, in M3 terms, V8 M3 terms, that's like 3/4 of a tank there and back. So we're just gonna take the workhorse instead. Don't get me wrong, I love my M3. I know it sounds like I'm slandering it. I love the car, but in no way would I say it's a quick car. It's got the top end, it's fast on the top end. You can't use that in Australia though. If we're talking about the actual acceleration and takeoff, yeah, it's not fast. But it definitely does make up for it in that sound and also that driving experience department. And supercharging M3 has always been on my mind. When I was buying mine, I literally saw one and I gave the guy an offer to buy his, which was supercharged, but he never replied to me. Anyways, I really want to do it, but there's two things that are holding me back, which I'll go over later in this video. But maybe after driving this one, it will just completely change my life. Most of you recently saw my reaction in that ESS supercharged one, and if you didn't, it was this. Okay, let's see if I can notice a difference. Oh my God, that's a different car. Clearly loved that car and it blew my socks off, but driving a car and being passenger of the car are two completely different things. So now that I actually get to be behind the wheel, it's going to be awesome. Like I said, we're taking the workhorse today. I'm in that nice Ford Ranger. It's actually a really nice car. I see why it was Australia's best-selling car for so many years. I actually really like it. In another life, I'm like some Texan in a big old truck, like the one behind me by complete coincidence. I just love them. You know what other car I love? I love those Whipple F-150 single cabs. Imagine we had those in Australia. Why did the Ranger not come with a V8 with a Coyote? That would be just peak. That'd be so good. But no, we don't do that. But still, those cars are cool. 6.2 supercharged truck. Yeah. Getting fairly close, about to get there. I need to give a big shout out to the owner. He literally reached out to me and was insisting for me to drive his car. I didn't reach out to him or ask him. I knew him before all the social media and stuff, but he just really wanted me to drive it and make a video on it. I said, no worries, let's do it. I think it's just his attempt to try sway me to go into the dark side. He really wants me to supercharge my M3 because of how much he loves his. So, I mean, yeah, it would be nice, but, you know, there's a bit of a cash problem here.
Here, there's no cash, all right? Cash, no. Robbo? No cash.
Big shout out to him for letting me do this. And if you have a really cool car in Melbourne, especially Euro or American muscle, let me know, because, you know, I enjoy fast cars and making videos with those fast cars. Anyways, let's cut to picking up the car and taking it out and seeing how enjoyable it is to drive. Here it is, the 2010 E90 M3. Now, let me point out the differences between this one and the one I've got sitting in the garage. Number one, as we can see, it's a 4-door sedan. Number two, it's got the DCT automatic transmission, not the manual. Number three, under the bonnet, it is supercharged. You see that right there? Harrop supercharged. This right here is a Harrop TVS1740 Supercharger kit for the S65, and it's installed and made completely by Harrop themselves. The awesome thing about this Harrop supercharger, it is the first positive displacement supercharger they made for the S65. All the other big brands like Gintani, G-Power, ESS, they're all centrifugal, whereas this is a complete different style. To put that in simple terms, a positive displacement supercharger, it traps and forces air into the engine for low RPMs on each revolution. So this really does help with that low end torque and power which the S65 desperately needs. This is what you call a typical supercharger. Normally the turbo's in the high end, superchargers are in the low end, and that's what the positive displacement does. And you see this in many muscle cars. For example, your Corvettes, HSV GDSRs, they all share this exact same platform of positive displacement pulley superchargers. Whereas the centrifugal supercharger is quite different. It looks like a turbo, and a lot of people mistake it because it looks exactly the same, and it kind of works a little bit like a turbo also. The way it works, it accelerates air outward with that spinning impeller, and the more it spins up, the more boost comes through, and the more power comes through the engine, meaning you have to be higher in the revs instead of lower. The awesome thing about the centrifugal ones is they make these awesome build up and blow off sounds. Compared to these ones, they make that whining sound, which everyone knows what a supercharger is known for. A Harrop supercharger, positive displacement, will help with that low end power, whereas the centrifugal ones like the ESS will make you more power in the top end, but in the low end, it's not making a huge difference like this one will. It's advertised that this Harrop kit will bring up the Newton meters to 550, which is 150 more than stock, and they claim on their website the power goes to 563, which again, a big jump from stock. Now, the previous owner of this car has done quite some cool things to it. So that kit alone is about $20,000. As we can see down here, he's got the full custom racing brakes on them. This is the full AP racing brake set on the front and the back. So it really does help, because when you got a lot more power, you need to be able to slow down also. And the one thing I want to show you about this car, which honestly blows my mind, and it will blow yours, is, come follow me here. Cool thing here also he has done is put the Harrop badges on there, and he's got those big old tips in there. Now he does have a nice special exhaust on it, so it does have a good sound. But here, we're here to listen to the supercharger. But when we get inside of the car, I'll turn it on, do the honors. There we are. He's got an actual boost gauge, which you can see everything from your revs, your temperatures, all of that. But here is the impressive part. 203,000 kilometers. And it's been supercharged for the last 80,000 kilometers. So it's really done its yards, and clearly the car's running fine. When the car was supercharged 80,000 kilometers ago, he did do the rod bearings and the throttle actuators. Since then, nothing's happened. I think the owner said he's going to do it again soon though, just to be safe, because whenever you push boost, things can go wrong a lot quicker. Let's do the honors and hear how it sounds. We'll start at the back and then we'll work our way to the front. Now as part of the video, we were going to go take it for a road test and see how I enjoy it, but yeah, it's like a thunderstorm right now. I mean, I'll enjoy it. I don't know how much I'll experience the power, because I'll just be frying the tyres in the wet. Instead of, 560 horsepower, probably have 1,000 now, but let's take it out and see how it goes. Hopefully it stops raining so we can feel it in the wet, but also the dry. But I'm excited. That's an understatement. But I'm also nervous, because I know if I love it, I'm in a bit of a situation where I know what might have to be done. We're going to try our first pull. This is my genuine first time driving a Supercharged M3. Not the right, it is not the right weather for it, but damn, oh my God. I mean, it's hard to gauge the power when the car's just going sideways, but damn. This relates a lot more to the F82 than the E92 in regards to the power and the power going down. But this is awesome. You can hear that whining. It just sounds different. It's like my car, but it's just a little bit different. You can tell there's something funky going on under the bonnet. Let's try again. I'll roll in from third this time, just rolling in and foot down. That's all the reaction you need, really. Oh my God. That low end torque straight away. I'm on 3,000 revs, and I just put my foot down, and it's just going. Yeah, you can tell the difference. Surprise, surprise. Who would have thought? Absolutely love this little boost gauge here. You can see it when I accelerate. You can see that boost coming through. That is so cool. We're gonna drive to some twisty roads. Hopefully it does dry up a bit, the sun has come out, and then we can give it a proper test where we're not just fighting the car gutter to gutter pretty much. I'm at 2,500 revs. It's just pulling you. Like, it literally just feels like you're in a diesel car that's got a bunch of torque and it's just pulling you backwards. And that is where you can tell the difference. Oh, little tunnel. Oh, thank you very much. I might have to indulge in a little bit of exhaust therapy. Okay. Down one more. And there's the torque, just snapping you sideways. So addicting to hear that little whining. It's not in your face like a Hellcat whine screaming at you, which you can do because he's still got the stock intake on this. If you put a proper intake on this, you'll hear that whine a lot more, and especially because that exhaust, how just loud it is as you're cruising. Yeah, it does get drowned out a little bit. It's just such a nice... I know BMW don't supercharge their cars from factory. If this car came out this like factory, it would be perfect. It's got that missing torque which it needed. And for a car which is now 15 years old, the performance is incredible. It's just too addicting not to... It's too addicting. This is what the M3 should have been. It just should have been like this. The roads have dried up super quick, so now let's get some pulls going down the street. You'll hear the exhaust from the back and that supercharger from the front. Listening back to those clips, the supercharger from outside is so much louder than in here. In here it's cool, especially when you let off, you'll hear it now. But from outside, you can tell it's supercharged, there's no mistaking it. And there it is, that winding off. You can hear the pulley going. The more I push it now in the dry, the more addicting it is. Like, it just pulls your face back. It pulls you in the back of the seat. It just doesn't seem real that E90s are this fast behind the wheel. Like, at 3,000 revs, it's already sending me to the back of the seat. And obviously these cars peak at like 8,000 revs. It's crazy. Oh, just listen. Oh my God. So good. Now let's try and get some twisties. We'll see how it handles, because in the twisties, of course, you're changing with the gears, low revs, high revs as you're going into turns. But I can already tell, when I'm in those low revs turns, I'm going to be a lot more powerful than I am in the regular E90. And also, while I do love these supercharger whining sounds, I think I do prefer that centrifugal hissing, especially when you're at the lights and you hear it just chirping away. Oh my God, it's so loud. Even just from standing in front of the car, whatever, you can hear it from miles away. So I think I prefer the sound of the centrifugals as well. You can tell it's going, it just wants to pull on you. Racing brakes, oh my God, let's pull your face off when you wanted to. These brakes are so good. This brake upgrade might be just as worth as a supercharger. Huge difference. Keep in mind the standard M3s have just got single pot calipers. Crazy to say, but the brakes make as much of a difference as the supercharger. You can take the corners so much harder with these racing brakes on there. It's nuts, it's ludicrous. Like, it's night and day difference. Same as the supercharger's night and day difference, those brakes are also. I mean, $10,000 for brakes is stupid money, but it does the job. I can see why they charge the stupid money for them. The problem is, I don't want to give his car back. Like, I want to steal it and never go back. I already offered him, I'll swap him my car for his. You know, I've got half the kilometres, mine's manual. He likes the grey more. He said done deal, but he's taking the supercharger off. Huh? His car is just so much fun to drive, and it just wants to keep going. I don't know, I'm annoyed now because it's just so damn tempting. It's just annoying me because I know I can do it, but I know I shouldn't. Or should I? I don't know. That's the problem we've got. And I know I'm going to see this in the comments, and I'm going to address it. I've already made a TikTok about it. This one was for sale, and it was cheap. The guy's asking $9,000 for it. That is cheap. A normal supercharger kit in these cars are anywhere from 15 to 20 grand. So 9,000 plus whatever install is, a couple thousand on top of that. That's good value. But I don't know, I'm scared. And like I said before, there's two things which are really holding me back, to be honest. Number one being the cost. It's not a cheap thing to do. It's going to cost me a bit of money. But if I could do it and knew nothing would go wrong, I'd sign the paperwork right away. Well, no paperwork, I'd just pay the guy and install it. But the second problem I've got is I'm worried the more boost you put through a car, the more issues going to come. Not just the unreliable S65 with the rod bearing, throttle actuators, whatever, any car. You can put a reliable car, if you up the boost, bigger turbo, bigger supercharger, the chance of things going wrong go way, way up. And being an S65, we know these engines can literally just implode on themselves. This one is a key example of one that went right. It had high Ks, it's been supercharged for 80,000 kilometers, and it still runs a dream. But I've heard horror stories of people literally installing a supercharger and a few days later, their engine cracks or the rod bearings give out. Now, could that be an install error? Could that be something to do with the car? It wasn't treated well? I don't know. But it's just scary to know in the back of your thought, damn, I could do this, spend all this money, and I just blow the engine and I'm down another $20,000 for a new engine, I guess. To prove this was the guy's actual daily driver, this is the saved fuel consumption. 11.7 litres per 100, and that's this much miles per gallon. My E90 is on 18.5, naturally aspirated. This guy's getting 11 supercharged. Realistically, the fuel consumption is going to go up, for me at least, probably in the low 20s, I'm guessing. It's horrible, but I mean, it's a cost to play. And I want to play. The really funny thing is, the guy went from this thing to daily driving an EV. How do you do that? How do you go from a boosted 8 to an EV? I mean, his fuel bill will literally be like $1,000 less a month. But damn, bro, how can you drive this and think, you know what, I've had enough, let's go to EV. I guess some people mature. I know I definitely will never mature when there's cars like this out there. I'm gonna try to do a first gear pull. The owner told me it's useless because it just doesn't put the power down. But let's do it anyways. He wasn't lying. It doesn't put the power down. I didn't drive the ESS one, but I can tell a difference. This thing, as expected in that low-end torque, it's got a lot more pull and go to it. Whereas that ESS centrifugal one, it had a lot more top-end power. When it was at like 5,000 RPM, it was a lot quicker than this one, just because it's another 100 or so horsepower. So I guess it begs the question, what's the better decision to go with? In my opinion, if you want that same raw M3 feeling, but just fixing that torque problem, you'd go with a Harrop system. Whereas if you just want something that's fast and stupid, you'd go with the centrifugal. And I think that's kind of what I'm more leaning to now. I think the centrifugal will be cool just because of how fast and crazy it is. I mean, they both keep the same characteristics of that V8, but I feel like there's a reason why they all went centrifugal. It's just a better overall choice. But if you want to keep that standard feeling, definitely go with the Harrop. As a little good gesture, I was going to refill up his car because he filled it up to give it to me. And now we're going to be stuck here for a while. But we've gone through a quarter of a tank in probably an hour and a half of driving, so it's one thirsty little car, that's for sure. While we wait for half of Melbourne to fuel up their cars, I just find it crazy, like this social media stuff, it's just awesome. Like, I'm just making videos online and I've got all these people reaching out to me to drive their cars, test out their cars, and just enjoy cars, and that's why I do it at the end of the day. So I'm not getting rich out of it, I'd love to, but we're not there yet. But it's just the experience itself, it's so awesome. And I've got a community of you guys that reach out to me all the time about questions of your cars, or just opinions, or just personal experiences. It's awesome, and it's building that community together. So we're gonna give it a little thank you, we're gonna fuel up the rest of his car, and keep driving for a little bit, and then hand it back to him. We're gonna wrap up the video here. Again, big shout out to my friend who let me drive this one. please consider liking, commenting and subscribing. Let me know down below, is the Harrop better? Is the ESS better? Or is just naturally aspirated the way you should keep the car? Peace out and drive safe till next week. Let me give you one more little supercharger sound. I know you guys want to hear it. As a goodbye and a thank you for watching.